she shouldn't have fallen asleep on his bed. But even more dangerous, she shouldn't have taken the necklace from the drawer. Because some treasures are not left behind by the living, but by the cursed. Let me tell you a story, my friends. Sit closer to the fire. This one comes from the place where the Zambezi sings at night, and where gold glitters in the dust. A tale from Harare, yes, but not the Harare you see in the day. No, this is the Harare that breathes behind tinted glass, where money walks without a shadow, and where old spirits still whisper beneath the concrete. In the center of the city stood a hotel known as the Zambezi Grand Hotel. It shimmered like a jewel, 5 stars, gold taps, marble floors so clean they could blind the sun. The kind of place where billionaires rested their bones and secrets. And the man who owned it. They called him Wicknell Chivhayo. He was tall, always dressed in black, a man of few words and fewer smiles. Some said he made his fortune in oil. Others said no, he went into the bush, deep into the valley, and came out rich, changed, and watched. But our story isn't about him. Not entirely. This story belongs to Alma. Alma was a housekeeper, young, soft-spoken. The kind of beauty that creeps up on you quiet, steady, and unforgettable. She had just started working at the hotel, sweeping corners others missed and scrubbing silence into the air. She never talked much. Some of the other girls whispered that she was running from something, or someone. One quiet evening, long after the guests had gone silent, and the city sighed its last breath, Alma was asked to clean the presidential suite. Now, that room was different. Some of the workers avoided it. They spoke of strange noises when no one was inside, of mirrors that fogged on their own, of whispers in Shona when the wind was still. But Alma, needing the work, said nothing. She entered the room. Velvet curtains, golden accents. The sheets looked like they'd been woven by spirits. The scent of lavender floated in the air, thick and slow. Music played from nowhere, soft, hypnotic. She moved from corner to corner, polishing, folding, arranging. And somewhere between folding towels and dusting the bookshelf, her eyelids began to droop. Her bones begged for rest. Just 5 minutes, she told herself. Just 5. She sat at the edge of the enormous bed and fell into a sleep so deep, not even dreams could find her. At the stroke of midnight, the door opened. He stepped in, Wicknell Chivhayo, the ghost billionaire himself. He dropped his keys, loosened his collar, and froze. There she was, curled like a child, her shoes neat by the door, her uniform still crisp. At first, he thought it was a setup, a trap. But then he saw the cleaning cart, the folded towels. Her innocence was written in the way she breathed. He took a step closer. She stirred. Her eyes blinked open, and the moment she saw him, terror crashed over her. "I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to. I was just so tired. I didn't think you'd be back so soon." Her voice shook like leaves in a storm. She scrambled to gather her things, cheeks burning, hands trembling. But Wicknell didn't raise his voice. He didn't shout or call for security. He just looked at her with those unreadable eyes and said, "You're lucky I'm not the kind of man who screams. But don't do this again." She nodded, breathless, and ran. Back in the staff quarters, she couldn't sleep. She kept replaying the moment in her mind, waiting to be fired. But the next morning, nothing happened. No warning, no HR meeting. Instead, a message came. "The owner has requested you clean the suit again." She thought it was a mistake. But when she entered, he was there, waiting. This time, he offered her tea. He didn't smile, but he asked her about herself. Strange questions. "Do you believe in spirits? Has the river ever spoken to you?" Alma looked at him carefully. Then she told him about her village, not far from the Nyamanyami River. About how the elders say that water remembers, that it speaks to those who listen. He nodded, like he'd heard it before. Then he walked to a drawer, opened it, and took out a pendant. A necklace with a blue stone, glowing faintly like the Zambezi under moonlight. "This belonged to my mother," he said. "I lost it years ago. But I found it again, and I think it wants you to have it." Alma refused at first, but the moment her fingers touched it, the stone grew warm, alive, like it recognized her. So she took it, and that night the dreams began. She stood at the edge of the Zambezi. The wind howled like voices from the deep, and across the water stood a woman in white, eyes shining like stars. "Daughter of dust," the woman said. "Bearer of truth, you are chosen." Every night, the dreams returned, and in the waking world the whispers began. In mirrors, in hallways, in the silence between elevator dings, return what was stolen. The necklace is not yours. Set us free. Alma couldn't ignore it anymore. She returned to the suit, seeking answers. But Wicknell was gone. In his place, sitting in the corner chair like she had always belonged, was an old woman wrapped in traditional cloth. Her back was bent, her eyes cloudy, but deep. "I am Gogo Rutendo," she said. "Wicknell's grandmother." Alma listened as the old woman spoke of a time long past. A time when Liam was young, reckless, swimming in the river under a blood moon. When he pulled the necklace from the waters, not knowing it was no ordinary jewel. The stone belonged to the river, and taking it was a pact. The river offered him wealth, power, but it would claim a price, his first love. He ran from that promise, built empires, built silence. But the river does not forget. "You wear the necklace now," Gogo Rutendo whispered, "and the river sees you. If you do not return it, it will take him." That night, the sky opened up. Thunder rolled. Wind screamed through the jacarandas. The Zambezi boiled with fury. Alma walked to the bridge, the necklace cold against her skin, and there, leaning on the rail, was Wicknell. His skin was pale, eyes sunken, like something was already feeding on him. "I never wanted you to be part of this," he said. "But the river always takes what it is owed." Alma held the pendant in her hand. It pulsed, it cracked. She raised it high, then dropped it into the churning waters. The wind stopped, the sky cleared, and Wicknell fell. When he woke, he was different. His voice was soft, his eyes clear, no longer haunted. "You saved me," he whispered. "You freed us both." He disappeared after that, gave up the hotel, donated the land, vanished from the world of money and steel. But Alma remained, not as a cleaner, but as manager of the spirit of Zambezi Lodge. A new place built on truth. A place where young women came to learn, to grow, to be safe. And some nights, when the moon is full and the water is calm, Alma hears the whisper again. "Daughter of dust, bearer of truth." And she smiles, because some stories are not meant to be forgotten. Some promises are not made in words. And some rivers always remember. If you've listened this far, then the river has spoken to you too. So before you go, like this tale, share it, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell. That way, you'll never miss another whisper from the Baobab. Until next time, Nengatagares Vakanaka. Shemwari, live well, my friends.